Hello and welcome to my 100 subscriber video. It may be a bit weird to host a 100 subscriber video, but this channel is still a hobby for me. But today I wanted to treat you to something special. An old school Ford in the shape of an RS1800, the Fiesta RS1800. In 1988, the Mark III Fiesta was introduced, and in April 1989 was introduced to the UK sales force. The biggest changes to the Mark III Fiesta was the introduction of a 5-door to match its rivals, the Peugeot 205, Fiat Uno and the Vauxhall Nova. The RS badge first appeared on the RS Turbo in 1990 and used the same 1.6 CVH as of the XR2i, but now with an added Garrett turbocharger with 133 PS and 183 Nm of torque, producing a top speed of 133 and a 0 to 60 of 7.9 seconds. Making it out from a XR2i, its subtle differences were green pinstripes instead of blue, and 3-spoke alloys, the infamous 3-spoke alloys that appeared on the Fiesta RS Turbo. Unfortunately, the RS Turbo was replaced by the RS1800 in 1992. This example of the RS1800 is a 1994 L-registered car, finished in either Pacifica Blue or Java Blue. You can let me know in the comments below. And it is a facelift model with the more aerodynamic, smaller mirrors on the wing mirrors and the clear indicator repeaters and the front indicators on the front. This example has been in storage since 2006 and has just recently been recommissioned. The first thing which you notice on the RS1800 is alloys, which are shared with the Escort RS2000. The same bumpers shared with the XR2i, but as I mentioned before, clear indicators give the RS1800 a more modern 90s Ford look. Walking around to the rear, the only giveaways that this car is an RS1800 is the spoiler, a 16 valve badge and the Scorpion exhaust badge. It also now wears the legendary RS1800 badge on the rear. This example sits a little bit lower as well and has an aftermarket Scorpion exhaust system. Under the bonnet is the Ford Z-Tech engine, which was also found in the XR2i, but the difference being the RS has 130 brake horsepower compared to the 105 brake horsepower the XR2i had. And this is due to the internals on the engine that make the difference. It had higher profile cams and larger throttle bodies and a 0 to 60 of just 8 seconds, and this topped out at 121 miles an hour. And as a handy indicator, all the fluid levels on the car are marked bright yellow. So we have up here the coolant tank, power steering fluid, oil cap and brake fluid and windscreen washer. This engine has just recently been serviced and MOT'd, and it's also had a new timing belt fitted as well. Jumping into the Fiesta, it's just like jumping into any Mark III Fiesta of the time. The only big giveaway, but this is a sports model, is the big winged seats, which became a feature on the SI model later on. So let's go and take you through the controls. The driver's door, you have the same fabric that's on the bucket seats going across the top of the door. Got nice, and then underneath it's got like a vinyl effect down under the door handle. and down into the door bin where you can find the electric window switches. Coming across, you'll find the familiar three-spoke Ford steering wheel that you would have found on the Fiestas and the Mark V Escorts, this being the addition of the driver's airbag. Indicator stacks are on the left, and again is a familiar Ford feeling. This was on everything from the Ford Fiestas from 1989, this model, Ford Escorts, right up to the year 2000. Only addition on the Fiesta is that the horn is on the end of the stack, but your lights are basically switch on here, and over to the right you have your windscreen wipers. So it's just a one-speed wiper, and you pull towards to adjust the speed. Two-speed wiper and a cross for intermittent. And this button here on the end of the stack, that's for the windscreen fluid. So the dashboard's quite simple, well laid out. You've got your air vent down here. Underneath here you've got a nice storage compartment, which also incorporates the fuse box. You've also got a natty wee alarm system, immobiliser light. Coming across, you've got your heater controls and your digital clock. As I said, you've got your digital clock, and when the lights are on, it lights up a nice shade of blue. Underneath here you've got your fan speed. This is where you can set your fan. Nice simple layout. It's missing one of the wee nubbins here. This would adjust your heat, so going from cold to hot here. And this little slider here, or nubbin, just adjusts where you want it to be. So in the day you would just have it on windscreen or down. I'm not sure how you would get your fresh air vents from there. Underneath you've got your familiar Ford controls buttons. This car's got a heated front windscreen, which is very rare on Fords. That had been an option, but Ford patented the heated front windscreen, so it's very rare to see that. This switch here is your heated rear window. This one here, these two here are just your front and rear fog lights. Underneath would be where the stereo would be. Unfortunately the stereo's not in here. I'm guessing if you had an RS1800, your Ford stereo would be a 2006 RDS, but don't quote me on that. You've got your cigarette lighter, or 12 volt, and an ashtray here. Your familiar 5-speed gearbox you would find in Ford is the same type of gear lever. This one's got the addition of a gearbox lock, because yes, the addition of a gearbox lock was to deter thieves. I'm getting in, so it'd be the sort of case you'd either put the car in first or reverse and just lock the gearbox, because these cars were known to be stolen, XR2Is, RS1800s, and it was one of the reasons why Ford introduced the SI model to replace the XR2, was due to the increase in car thefts. Coming over to the passenger side of the dashboard, you have what we could describe as a massive T-shelf. I'm sure Matt at Furious Driving would appreciate this. So you'd have probably a wee bit here for your cup of tea, and this wee section here maybe for a few wee biscuits or cakes. Underneath you've got a storage area here. This would, if you had it specified as an option, be the passenger airbag. And you've got a nice deep glove box in here. And it looks as if it's got its original, see if it focuses. Don't think it's going to focus. There we go. It's got its original dealer tax disc holder from Sanderson Ford in North Allerton. Over to the passenger side, you've just got your door handle, your door lock. I always like these door locks. There's no little door locks on the door. Push it down to lock. You would just push the handle in like so. That's what I remember. You'd find these door handles in anything from like the Fiestas to the Escorts. Climb into the rear. You've got to find the usual familiar, if it focuses, here. You always remember that if you had a Ford in the early 80s, 90s, you've got your little slidey out cigarette lighter. And for these summer days, you've got a glass sunroof as well. Another common feature on 90s Fords at the time.